Hi. So, normally on Wednesdays I play Dreamlight Valley. That usually takes up most of the time, and then we have, like half an hour maybe of Minecraft. This time, because of the Peter Pan update, we didn't have that luxury. I know you're saying it can't be that bad. Well, no, it seriously was unplayable. I was very upset, so I came over here. Um, yeah, see, I didn't get to do my dream snap. I didn't get to finish more of the star path. I didn't get to do anything. Well, I mean, I got some of the star path done, but not enough. And that makes me really scared to go on my second account, because if it was unplayable for the one account, it's gonna be unplayable for the second account as well. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. That doesn't look like 3, but it is. Okay. Although I may have to widen that bathroom so we can fit the bathtub, if we're going to put in the bathtub. So we may have the fancy bathtubs in the mansion, and then have the not so fancy normal, what people would build in Minecraft kind of bathroom. I mean, kind of bathtubs. I don't know. Oh, and I don't plan on actually uh finishing. I mean, talking the whole time, because because I am upset. I don't want to drag anybody down. Um, because Dreamlight Valley is one of my favorite games, and if I can't play it because it's not acting right, then that's not okay. That would be like if Minecraft was not acting right. So, okay. Um, thing is, though, I do have to go upstairs. So that's going to start me, I will give you that view just in case, some animal comes over or something. There's been wolves and, cows and pigs and stuff all, spawning all over the place. So, I'll be back. Hi. So I'm back. Um, yeah, I was gonna leave it at that and just, not be on the headset. But then I was like, okay, so I write books. They are about a family of pirates. I say family. It's partly family, like, like William's got uh his wife Kat, his sons Sean, Jesse, Brandon. Sean, Jesse, and Brandon, and then he's got his daughter Julie. And Morgan's got too many kids for me to actually remember all their names at the moment, but three of them are Ashley, Chantel, and Allison. There's Nicolette, Michaela, Jack. They've got 13 kids. Jack, Alexander, Logan, okay, wait a minute. Okay, so if I'm trying to remember them all, Ashley, Chantel, Allison, Nicolette, Michaela, Jack, Lydia, Alexander, or Logan, I'm not sure which, Logan, and there's gotta be another. Okay, and then there's Adam, Eve, and Sunny. Yeah, I'm missing one. I always do this. I'm always missing one. Actually, usually I'm missing two. But, yeah, they're Jack, Logan, Alexander. Did I count out? Okay. Jack, Logan, Alexander. Ashley, Chantel, Nicolette, Allison, Michaela, not in that order. That's 8. With 3 of the boys. So there's a boy I'm missing. Jack, Logan, Alexander. I think there's a boy I'm missing. No, because he's only got 4 boys. So, Adam, Sunny, Eve. Now I'm missing 2. Ugh. I don't know. Well, okay. So, I'm going to use a famous quote from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Raiders of the... Not Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. That's what it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I wrote it down so I didn't have to remember. I know I keep saying that, but I know for a fact that they've got 4 boys and 9 girls, but I can never remember everybody's name. And I remembered Lydia, so Lydia's usually the one that I forget. But I remembered Lydia, so maybe they've got 5 boys, but I don't think so. I think they only got 4. Oh, anyway, so I write books, and they are on Amazon. And they are Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times. Later in the series, Esperanza's Party, The Island, and a whole separate book. Those are all the Rolling Sea, the Rolling Sea Pirate's Daughter, the Rolling Sea Misfortune. And the reason why I did that is because I was watching an Elvis movie. Maybe Girls, Girls, Girls. I don't remember. It's okay, so it's the one where he's singing in the nightclub, and this rich girl walks in, but she doesn't want him to marry her for her money. So she acts all weird. Um, like she's got her own apartment and everything. Um, it's kind of like on Cocktail, but but it's like she's got her own apartment and everything, and it's just the way she talks is throwing him off. So anyway, somewhere in there he's singing a song thanks to the rolling sea, and because I couldn't come up with any better name for my ship at the time, that's what the name of the ship became. Because I'm an Elvis fan. Elvis Presley. Um, just in case there's any youngins who don't know who Elvis is. Um, anyway, so, but in another series, the series is called Adopted, and the first book is Coral, because she is our first, she was our first cat after Sweetie. So Sweetie was technically our first cat, and she had a very sad story. Um, apparently, she got left behind in the hotel room. And she had nobody to care for her, so we ended up, uh, our friend at the time, he's no longer our friend, really, but, like we'll talk to him if we see him in the W store or something like that, because that's one of his favorite places to shop. Um, but, yeah, um, he's done so many weird things, okay, so he asked me to go to Reno with him for a doctor's, for his doctor's appointment in case he couldn't um, drive me back. And then, because I personally think this guy's bipolar, he goes and leaves me in Reno at the place that he was there for the doctor's appointment. And let me just say, Reno is, too far to walk to get home. So anyway, I had to have my husband come pick me up, and we have not been friends ever since. I'm like, heck no. Um, but anyway, not the point, not the point. Um, but yeah, he's the one that gave us Sweetie, and Sweetie was not sweet. She was so cute when she was a baby, and then she grew up, and she's like Miss Sassy Pants, and that's what I've been calling Bobby, our newest cat. I've been calling her Miss Sassy Pants. Because she'll be like, pet me! And then she'll be like, I'm gonna bite you now. But anyway, so like I said, my books are Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times, later in the series, Esperanza's Party, The Island. I just haven't. Okay, so eventually, I will go and take those first 3 books and actually get the storyline up to the part where Esperanza's party happens. I just haven't done it yet. And that's because I'm trying to get these the ones I'm working on right now. I'm trying to get them edited. So, I found a whole bunch of edit problems yesterday. It was kind of, it's kind of interesting because again, I found a problem where finally, hold on. Okay. So, um, anyway, I found another problem where it was YOU apostrophe RE when it was supposed to be YOUR. Okay, so I know the difference. I really do. But while typing, it's like I can put it in, like I'll put it in as one thing and I can always fix it later. Well, Word, as cool as it is, I've got 365, but anyway, Word, as cool as it is, cannot tell the difference. So it's just like, okay, you didn't put like it or is or banana, so you're fine. You know, you know like like uh like some paragraphs need or sentences need they had whatever it is. But I figured out that you could put they'd had and it makes more sense. Or it works better for the sentence. So, anyway, Word goes and tells you you can't do that because, it's a double it's the word twice. So you had to have meant that, you had to have not wanted to do that. It's like, no, I did want to do that. But anyway, so yeah, I got really frustrated with Dreamlight Valley and, oh, okay, so the reason why I'm on the headset right now is, yeah, I would like it very much if people would go on Amazon and check out my books. I would love it even more if they would go on there and buy my books. I put, a lot of time and effort into them, and I love my books. My cats love my books. My husband at least, tries to help me make them the best books that they can. And, I just think that it'd be really awesome if people would start buying my books. Especially since I would like to be able to help out with the bills around the house and be able to help people that are less fortunate than me, be able to have food. Because we've been there. We have definitely been there where we needed food. And of course, oh, what's it called? Anyway, the food stamp people. They're like, oh, you have to be making, it seems like they're saying you have to be making $3, like $3 to get their help with anything. And then they ask way too many questions. And some of those questions I think are not questions that they should be asking. Like I think one time they asked is there anybody that you could have borrowed this money from? And it's like, no. It's like, okay, we can't help it. We've got jobs. We're just that poor, because the jobs that we've got aren't paying enough. Although Walmart was doing a really good job when I worked for them. Um, that they were helping us pay the bills. We would have been fine if we were still working at Walmart. I mean, I would have had a massive coronary from, I don't even know what a coronary is, but I probably would have had one from, all the stress I was experiencing. But other than that, so then it becomes, do I really want to stay at this job because it is that stressful? Anyway. Well, the job I've got right now, writing books, that's kind of stressful too. But it's not as stressful as the other one because, like, every day I was worried about getting fired. But anyway, okay, so eventually here, I plan to finish the books that are introducing characters and bringing them onto the ship. I don't know how many I have, but okay. So if you go with that, there's like 20 original crew members. Well, there was like 18, and then we added Kelly and Britannia or something like that. But anyway, so if you go with like there was 20 of them, and and I think Rachel. But anyway, if you go with there was 20 original crew members, and we've written 3 of them, and then we added Jake and Luke, but I don't think Jake's story is actually finished. I think there's like a big gap between. Maybe not. But I think there's a big gap between like the beginning of the book and the end part of the book. If not, even better. But yeah, the idea is to go and introduce all the original crew members, and then, the ones that come later, introduce them at some point in time and get them all in there, and then they're going to start having kids. Because like I said, this is like a family of pirates. So, that's what I was trying to explain before I had to go upstairs. There's like families where it's the mom, the dad, and the kids. And then, like, they've been friends so long that the yeah, that the original crew, Morgan, Hayden, William, Jake, and all them, they call they pretty much act like they're brother and sister with, the other person. And so their kids, no, that is the wrong one. So their kids call, like Sean and Jesse call Morgan and Hayden Aunt Morgan and Uncle Hayden. They're not blood related, and I have done my best to make that a big point, because otherwise Sean is marrying his cousin, and it's not okay. But so eventually these little houses here will have a roof like these houses. I didn't know what to do with this, like it shouldn't go up to a point, so I just made it to that point and it's gonna have to stay that way. Okay, and then what is the next color? This one. Yeah. And I don't know if I want a light colored house next to like a super light colored house next to, I don't know about that. Yeah. Kind of looks too samey. Well, we'll fix it if I like really decide that I don't like it, we'll just change it. So there will be certain houses on this that are going to be made out of concrete instead of wood. I am not sick. This is just me, by the way. But anyway, some of them are going to be concrete, like that White House over there. And that's going to be because those are people that I know are in the story and, they have some kind of significance in a scene in my book. Like that, like the white one there is Kevin and Michael's house. Kevin's the older brother, so he should be mentioned first, even though. Oh, you know what? It helps if you do things right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Close. Close. Yeah, close. Anyway, so I want to be able to help out people less fortunate than me. And I would like to be able to donate to Make-A-Wish and cancer research and a whole bunch of stuff, but you need money to do that kind of stuff, and I hate asking, but if you buy one of my books, you'll get something pretty awesome, and I think they're totally awesome, but it depends on your taste in books. But yeah. You'll get something totally awesome and you'll be able to help me do this stuff. I won't be able to go and say, hey, Susan Bowers, help me do this, let's say. I just made up a name. If your name happens to be Susan Bowers, I was not, like channeling dark spirits or anything like that. I just came up with the name. But anyway, like I won't be able to say, like I said, Susan Bowers helped me, but I will be able to say that all of the people who bought my books helped me with this. And, well, I mean, unless you, like, find me on Twitch and then add me to your Discord and stuff, but I don't really go on Discord. I'm just saying. People keep saying, hey, add me to your Discord. And I'm like, I don't really understand Discord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And half the time, 6, 7, 8, 9. And half the time when I try to add somebody, it does not work. Yeah, okay, perfect. Anyway, half the time I try to add somebody, it does not work. And I don't know why, because all of a sudden I'll tell them, you need to add me because it never works when I do it. And they add me and it's just fine. So, yeah, I'm really confused about that. If anybody's got any ideas of why it keeps doing that, I don't know. I just feel like I'm too old to Discord. I'm not even that old, but I feel like I'm too old to Discord. Like, a couple of my I guess I am going to be on here today then. I was just going to plug, literally I was just going to plug my books. I was going to, say if you're watching me on Twitch, like, share. I mean, if you're watching me on YouTube, like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell, please. And if you're watching me on Twitch, follow and chat. And then I was going to get off the headset, but I'm kind of in a talky mood today. I'll try not to be on here too long though. Anyway, I don't know what I was talking about, so I will go and say, okay, so I told you about those 6 books, and if I can ever get 1, 2, 3, 4, if I can ever get the editing done on the books that I've got, the only reason why I'm editing right now is because there was stuff in the paperback version that was not in the hardback version. And then I'm going through it right now. I'm on page. I will figure it out in just a moment. Okay, that can go down. That can go down. Yeah, I've gotten all the way up to page 158. And I gave myself the goal of trying to get done before um before or on 4th of July. Well, I said before 4th of July. So if I can get done with it before 4th of July, I'll be very happy. But that means I've got 8 days, including today. That means I got 8 days. And I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to dang well try. Because there was only 258 pages in my book, and I'm pretty sure there's more now because I've added some things, and then I still have to go through. The only way to figure out if the page chapters, where it says chapter 1, Johnny, the only way to figure out if that's on the side of the book that I want it to be, because I want all the titles on the right side. And the only way to do that is to go through Amazon, look at the book preview, and, go through it and make sure every single chapter is on the correct page. And that means a lot of clicking with your mouse to get to the right page. I mean, the correct page. And yeah. And then if there's one that is on the left instead of the right, you have to go out of it and go and fix it, and then go back into it and go right back to that chapter, make sure it's on the right. Yeah. But I like it better that way. It's got like um um okay, I can't think of the word that I'm thinking of right now, but it's conformity, I think. Yeah, to where everything's set up the same. and I really like that, and I am probably being nitpicky, but it's like, okay, how do you want your books? I don't know. But I finally came up with something. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. But anyway, I finally came up with the way I want it. So I'm pretty happy about that actually. One, two, three, four, five, six. And as soon as I can get that done, then I can go and one, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, anyway, as soon as I'm done with that one, then I've got it. Okay, as soon as I'm done with that one, I've got to do the island, and then I gotta go and make sure. No, I think it's just those two because I would have had to. I don't know if I did, but I think I would have had to go and figure it out. Ooh, I bet you I ought to check them. One, two, and three. Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, and Hard Times. I bet you I ought to go through them. Again, just to make sure. Cause there may have been some stuff where I'm like, should I word it this way? Should I word it that way? And the one file has it worded the way I decided I wanted it worded, and the other one doesn't, or something like that. Um, but yeah, so I've already written. I don't know if they're perfect, final draft and all that, but like ready for publishing. But I've already written Luke's story. I was gonna say Jake first, but yeah, I've already written uh Jake's story. I've already written Luke's story, so that's two more. So that makes five crew members. But like I said, there was 20 original crew members, and then I lost access to that external hard drive, so I'm very upset about that. And I'm told that if we go and have it sent out to a clean room or whatever you call it, it's going to be like more than buying a new external hard drive. But on the other hand, I would get access. I mean, if they could get anything off of it, I could get access to um my one, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. Anyway, I could get access to how many crew members there's supposed to be versus how many I can come up with now. Because, like, now I can come up with, like, I think about 400, and there used to be over 600 people in the crew. So I don't understand how that happened. But a lot of people were like, in that list, a lot of people were like Ariel's kid. Like Ariel's kid 1, Ariel's kid 2, stuff like that. And I just couldn't think of another name because I have so many people in the crew, in the pirate crew, that that I just kind of ran out of names that I like. And at one point, I had Leonardo married to a lady named Bianca. And I have no idea who Bianca is. So I decided, nah, he's going to be married to Jessica. And we got rid of Bianca because, like I said, I have no idea who she is. So why keep her? I don't think she was very important to the plot or anything, you know. It's like if we take her out, it's not going to kill the story or anything. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're probably wondering, why did I put that in if I was just going to end up taking it out? And there's a very good reason for that. That's so I can tell where the house goes. Where the house goes. So, um, so yeah, Jake is the navigator. Okay, so Morgan is the captain, and um, Hayden is the captain's husband. Well, he starts out captain's boyfriend, and then he gets to be captain's husband, which is kind of funny because her father, Morgan's father, he didn't get a higher rank at all. I think he started out as slave, and then it was, yeah, I think he started out as slave and then ended up being uh captain's husband or something like that, but he doesn't get to go and take over if she's not feeling good or something like that. You know, Hayden gets to take over. Or if it's a pirate captain they haven't met yet, you never know what the pirate captain's going to do. So Hayden goes and takes over just until they find out what the guy's like. And then usually Morgan ends up having to come in and kind of rescue him. Um, which my husband keeps saying that makes my guy character sound weak. But it's like, no, they just know when to quit. Well, William doesn't know when to quit, but that's a different subject. Okay, so this looks so much better with the road going this way and there being a sidewalk on each side. But then that causes a problem over here because you can't have this flat. So then we end up coming up with this weirdness, but it seems to work. Yeah, okay, that's carpet. We're good. Um, No, we got a door back here. Okay, we're good. Okay, so you'll notice from the other day, I'll start talking about my book in a minute, but you'll notice from the other day, we were, hopefully I'm not going to get lost here. Yeah, it'll be grass, he said. Just saying. Okay, so you'll notice, um, before we were like over here somewhere, and there was big chunks of mountain here. Yeah, my son surprised me and came over here and helped me out with a bunch of this stuff and took it out. So that's all nice and flat, but we're still stuck with some of it, but it's a lot less than it could have been. So I'm gonna go this way, follow this wall here. I only have this wall up because the animals kept committing suicide. That means they were jumping off the cliff like a lemming. lemming is a animal, and I don't think they know much about it, but they claim it's not suicidal in nature. Well, I'm only saying they claim because most animals would go up to the cliff and go, ain't going there. Like, comment on the Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. in the motorcycle episode. The motorcycle, it's not alive, so it went and drove the guy off the cliff. The guy was riding the motorcycle and, it went off the cliff. I don't know that they had motorcycles back then, but it made for a good story anyway. But comment, Briscoe's like, Briscoe was talking to him and he's like, you want to go after him? Okay, let's go. Well, then the cliff came up and comment's like, oh, hey, no, and stopped. But they both watched the motorcycle keep going. So I think Briscoe said something about horses being smarter than motorcycles, and I think they called it a motored bicycle or something like that. I'm pretty sure bicycles were a thing, though, back when. They might have been the one that they now call the Bone Crusher. The one with a huge wheel. Apparently, they weren't very fun to ride. Which is probably why whoever came up with the way to make them now started baby steps, but making it better. Besides, who the heck needs to be that far up in the air to ride a bicycle? And then if you fall off that bicycle, you may end up falling on your head and breaking something. And like people go and people go and find people buried in their backyard, and everybody's always like, ooh, that's sinister, they got murdered. What if it was just somebody that fell off one of those bikes? Just saying. I'm sorry, I watch way too much Murder, She Wrote. Because it's, it's the channel that, I'm, I can watch that and I can even fall asleep to it. It doesn't give me nightmares or anything because, it's lighthearted. It's not like watching Blue Bloods or Buffy the Vampire Slayer before bed. That definitely, I didn't think it did, but I guess it causes me to sleep fitfully, not actually, relax. So it wasn't good. Oh, okay. So I've got, hey, my mouse wasn't working for a second there. And then it was like, oh, wait, you wanted to use me? I'm sorry. I've got a YouTube video playing silently in the background, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to do this because I really want to get that story figured out, and I can do it a lot better when I'm not playing Minecraft. I discovered that yesterday. Anyway, if I'm not playing Minecraft and I'm not so distracted by whatever I'm listening to in the background, so I'll probably put that music on again. Somebody, I can't remember what their name is right now, but somebody was so kind as to take like um, Stairway to Heaven and Iris from the Goo Goo Dolls and make it into classical music. No words, just they went and took the tune and made it classical um instead of rock and roll. It still sounds really good and doesn't distract me. So as much as my husband thinks it's very annoying to listen to the same stuff over and over and over again, that probably will help me a lot. And if I can get to page 200, then I've only got 58 pages or I've probably got less than 100 pages to go. Although the whole entire file um I've got it to where the book page start, the part where I say chapter 1 Johnny and start telling the story. That is counted as page 1. And then I've got the I've got what Word is counting as page 1, which is the first page in the file. Anyway, I'm on page 169 out of 317. So I'm guessing that I probably maybe have over 300 pages for the story, which would be really cool. But yeah, the next book, if I can ever get done with Esperanza's Party and the Island, the next book in uh, the Morgan part of the series, we'll call it. Because okay, so I divided it into beginnings, which is Morgan and her crew. Like I said, originally there was 20 people, and then I added some other people, so there was at least 25. But anyway, we got it to where there was about I don't know, 36 to 40 people, something like that, because each original crew member had a spouse or at least a loved one, and yeah, I don't know how it worked out, but anyway. Oh, I said 17 families, so 10 plus 10 is 20. Okay, 34. So approximately 34 original crew members. And then there's at least 52, I think it was 52 members when the person takes over the number 1. And then there's okay, then that person goes and takes over the number 2, and there's another person that takes over the number 1. I don't want to spoil it, so I don't know how much to tell and how much not to tell. But anyways, it's like that. And then at one point the person that took over the number 1 in the first place ends up on the number 3, because there's that many people in the family. So the number 3, and the original crew are there, but they're like they're like when you take grandma on vacation with you. Grandma may not be able to go on the rides. Some of the grandparents are in wheelchairs. Stuff like that. um, Yeah, because I thought it would be like the height of irony, William being this big, strong guy and he's stuck in a wheelchair because he had a heart attack or something. I don't know if I even wrote what happened in the story, but I think it was a heart attack. Well, I know that Mitch had one. I know I wrote Mitch had one because he's also the big, strong guy that wouldn't want to be in a wheelchair, but he'll sit in that wheelchair to stay alive. Um, but the hardest story that I ever had to write, and it's not, it's a story idea at the moment because it's not big enough to be a story on its own. Or it's a short story, but it's only like 5 pages maybe. Uh, anyway, the hardest thing I ever had to write is one of these days, everybody has to die. So, one of these days, I'm going to have to uh, have Morgan pass away. So, she's going to go on her extended vacation, as I call it. Because, because if I say Mama died, that don't sound right. But if I say she went on her extended vacation, it makes me think that she's, in heaven, lying on the beach somewhere, chilling, or or maybe going on God's best roller coaster, something like that. Um, I don't know. I personally think that heaven's got the best roller coasters, has the best hang gliding and I've never been hang gliding, but you wouldn't have to worry about like you wouldn't have to worry about crashing into a mountain and dying, and you wouldn't have to like worry about the wind just dropping you on your head or anything like that. Yeah, like a hang glider is kind of like having an elytra, but it needs the wind. Instead of having the rockets. But like I kind of think that, or I won't, I like to think that God's got like the best ones of all of them. And if you like climbing mountains, he's got like the tallest one. Um, and you never have to worry about not having that handhold and falling off. Um, these are things I would like to do, but I am too chicken to do them, and I know it. But like in heaven, I figure that you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. And like you never have to worry about, you're next to that guy next to you and he's going to pick your pocket. And you never have to worry about them, like taking their sword or knife and getting you with it. You never have to worry about any of that stuff. At least that's my thought. You know? Sounds like a good place to go. So when I say that my mom's going on her extended vacation, I know where she is because um, me and God had a talk. He told me he needed my mama, and I'm like, okay. Now, I didn't know how much I was going to miss her, I mean, I knew I was going to miss her, but I didn't know how much. But, I'll see her again. It'll be okay. And if God keeps your kitty cats and your puppy dogs and all that after, after they pass away, then I'm sure Mama's taking care of Tessa and Coral for me, and Henny and Roxy, and hopefully they're, actually getting along. Because you always get that perception that, everybody gets along in heaven. So I like to think that too. Anyway, so like the hardest thing that I ever had to write though was, how Morgan passes away. Like I was actually crying when I came up with that. I really was. You know, because she was my first character. I well, like I had a dream the day before I saw a commercial for Cutthroat Island. I had a dream, and I wrote it down, and I wrote down everything that I could remember from it in my dad's computer, in the in the word processor. I was gonna say word program, but I don't think either Word wasn't invented yet, or I, I just don't think that that's what we had. But anyway, I wrote it down and everything, and then my dad reset the computer and it all got lost. But I remembered it, mostly. I just didn't remember how I exactly worded it, and I think the way I exactly worded it sounded a hay of a lot better than what I have now. But, I mean, for that part of the story. I haven't gotten to that part of the story yet. I'm actually gonna need to come up with that soon. But, yeah, see, this is like, there's just big, massive piece of mountain right here, and I need to get rid of that before I put in some of those houses. What I'm trying to do is come up with 7 houses, and then I've got to make the road that goes that way. I know, that doesn't help very much, but it's definitely the road that goes that way. See, and then there's more mountain over here. Speaking of that, how many houses do I have? Because if I have 7, then I will go and... But I don't think I do. I think I have like 5, maybe 6. Okay. 1... Wait. Just to make sure. Yeah, okay. Road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. So we just need one more. If we get one more, then I can go and put the road that goes that way. And and it'll be all good. So, Sid wanted to talk, but if I get on with Sid, yeah, I'll get on with Sid. Hey, I can barely hear you. Yeah, a little. Let's see if... No, I got you on 200. I ought to be You ought to be blasting my ears off. Okay. Luck. That'd be awesome. Ooh, 'cause that's only a couple of states over from us. And you'll have snow. Yeah, but you'll have to shovel the snow. Yeah. A snowplow? Well, we did enough of that at Tahoe, but you still gotta, like if we could, I would go around with a shovel, walking around the town because they don't plow it, especially the sidewalks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that sounds fun on the surface. They don't pay you for those days. Okay. Most companies don't do that. That'd be nice to work for a company like that. Not moving to Colorado though, because I'd be that much more away from my kids. Doesn't matter. My kitty kids are. Oh, and Mike says that. Oh, I'm streaming, dang it. Oh, well, whatever. Anyway, he says that Expedia doesn't want to give the money because it's the hotel that is supposed to give the money. But the hotel told us that Expedia is supposed to give the money, and I don't think he's fighting for it. For the money that we got, that we gave to Expedia to hold the reservation on the hotel room, and they screwed it up and changed it to the second, and they're refusing to give us our money back. There's what I don't think we have a contract. It was, the Expedia app. Okay. See, right now I want to sue them because they almost made it to where we couldn't have a place to stay for the night. And my dad went and put us up because they were going to Disneyland on Sunday. Oh, I don't know about that yet. Yeah, but every time we get a regular bank, we get screwed over and it does not work for us. Because on a regular bank, with a regular bank account, you can overspend and end up having to pay $16,000 in fees. That doesn't work for us. The bank that we have will not let us spend if we don't have money in the account. No, what I'm saying is that no, because we tried that. And then all of a sudden it turned out that, oh, this bill didn't go through. We paid it, but it didn't go through until we had, $5 in the bank because we thought that we had the money in there because, we made sure that we paid the bill, whatever it was. And, it said that we still had $200 in there. So we went grocery shopping. And all of a sudden the bill came out when we had $5 left over from grocery shopping. So I don't know what the hell was happening, but that's what. Well, yeah, but no, we've done it to where we waited a few days just to make sure, and it still happened that way. Yeah. Well, we have really bad luck with bank accounts. That's why we have the bank account that we have. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Oi. Well, I'm definitely getting off at 11 so I can have breakfast and finish editing my story, hopefully. Because cause if the book has as many pages as it used to have, which I'm pretty sure it's got more, but if it has the same amount of pages it did before, I've only got 100 left. I just realized that. Yeah. Well, the problem was is that mm, yeah, but right now we only have his income. He's not worth $4,000. I don't think so. The only the only time that he's been worth the only time that he's been worth being able to give, thousands of dollars is like when we get a car or when we got this place. But we were both working at the W store then, so yeah, well, I'm starting to think I should have put in that dumb application before we left for the thing because I was thinking, they're asking a whole bunch of the people that used to work there and got fired wrong. They've been hiring them left and right, and I was like, I should qualify for that. And I was thinking I would get hired before we had to go on vacation, and so I waited until after, and I did put it in, and every single day I've been checking the email and nothing. What? No, I hate them. They've never come up with a job for me. What do they do? Huh? In theory, I put in on both Indeed and LinkedIn. I put in exactly what I could do, and I haven't gotten one job offer yet. And I'm pretty sure I had that global thing too. None of it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had that too. Yeah, but I got rid of them because they weren't helping either. I got rid of all three of them. I've got some 3 years. I don't know about Global Insights though. That probably wasn't very long, but I did give the other two like years and nothing. So I finally was like, no, I'm gonna unsubscribe. Yeah, but you got better skills than I do. Yeah, how am I supposed to do that? Can't afford to go to college. We don't have the bog fee waiver like they do in California here. Otherwise, I'd be going for it. It's like if you are poor and you have a family, you can get you can get the college fees knocked out. They'll take care of them for you. And then if you have a family, they'll pay you like $2,000 a month just to go to school in California. That's the FAFSA. Ooh, I wonder if they know about that. But they have that in California. Is that a Nevada thing too? Okay. Yeah, well, the problem with that is that I would have had a degree in computer science, except for that I cannot pass algebra to save my life. No, you need algebra for anything that you're getting a degree for. No, I was told I need some kind of algebra. Although I was also told that I could probably take business math. Because I don't understand what the hell A, B, C, and D have to do with numbers. Yeah, but that's not helping. Trying to teach me a dumb formula that is supposed to teach me what the unknowns are aren't helping. Now, if you give me, I make $2,000 a month, which would be really great. But if you give me, I make $2,000 a month. My bills are 1,400. How much do I have left over? Of course, I'm gonna have 600. And then you go and take $60 from that, to go to the movies, and another 200 for food, and stuff like that. I can do math. But you go and start putting stupid letters in there, and it doesn't make any sense. Especially when you got no numbers in there at all. Huh. Yeah. Well, I can figure that out if I can actually, like, visualize it in my mind. But, you know, but that's what I'm saying. You'd probably need 25 because you said it was two something. Um, yeah, you got $2.80 a week, so that's about, well, it would be 25 if you were only getting the $2. But yeah, I can figure that out if you give me numbers to work with. But I really don't think algebra makes a whole lot of sense because you're coming up with x plus y equals z and not giving any numbers at all. And the fact that I had 8 teachers that year did not help. And the fact that when we're learning fractions, the computer flipped it for you. That was the stupidest damn thing they could have ever came up with. No, that was for all the different fractions. It didn't matter what you were doing. But one of the fractions, you've got the one um saying like 8/5 or something like that, and the thing flipped it so it said 5/8 or something like that. Anyway, I've got a math block on both of those. Huh. No. And I proved my college teacher wrong. She said that if I was good at decimals, I would not have been in that class. And I know for a fact that the test that they are giving to test you whether you can do math or not is flawed. Because my answer was like $3.33 or something like that, and that was not one of the answers. And I proved to my college teacher that I know decimals because I pretend that it's money. I kick butt at decimals. I got a total A on that one. I was actually surprising the heck out of myself and making myself really proud of myself. Well, this was what people, I guess, would call dummy math. You know, it's like the stuff that you're supposed to learn before you get to high school. And mm, well, my problem was the teacher would explain it in class. I would totally understand it then. And as soon as I got home and life happened, I was like, how do I do this again? Well, no, when you have a husband who plays video games all day, sits on his butt, and actually fell asleep while the children were making a mess of the living room. He, no, anybody could have gone in there and kidnapped our kids, and he would have been asleep. There was nobody else home. Maybe, yeah, maybe the cat. You know, maybe the cat was home, but I'm just saying, maybe the cat was home, but nobody else was, and that might have been before we had the cat actually, but why? No, that's different. That's different. If they're passed out with you, that's fine. But the kids were sitting there literally making a mess. If they would have had makeup, he would have been wearing it. A Ferrari? That was the first expensive thing that popped into my head. And then the second one was a Bugatti. Well, it goes over 300 miles per hour depending on which one you buy. I wouldn't be able to drive it though, because I hear it's a stick shift. I can't drive a stick shift. No. Make sure that they're allowed in Colorado, because they're not allowed in California. No. No, they are illegal to own in California. Oh, a car. Okay. But the animal is illegal in California. I have no idea why, but people are allowed to buy snakes and they're not the ones that actually came from California, so that doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. Of course, apparently in New York, according to the TV show Friends, you can own a monkey. But then he wanted a girlfriend and they couldn't get him a girlfriend, so they had to give him to the zoo. And Ross was so sad. Yeah, but Michael Jackson's rich. I wouldn't want to own a monkey. I don't think I could litter train a monkey. Wait, me or your kiddo? Okay, the kiddo. Okay, the kiddo then. Yeah. I didn't know if ferret was a car or a boat. Okay. Well, because you can drive a boat, but technically it's sailing it, I think. But I don't know if it's like driving or sailing if it's a speedboat. Okay, so that's an either term would work. I think she needs a nice Plymouth Belvedere too. No, because see the Plymouth Belvedere 2 is all metal. She doesn't have to really worry about, like mushing it up or anything like that. Well, I don't know how much of steel uh his classic is, but no, I'm pretty sure it's more than that. Well, still, if it crashes into a Honda, the Honda's gonna feel it more than the. Yeah. I mean, even with that information, I still want a Subaru, but I want a taller Subaru than what we had because that one was hurting my back. I can't, like, bend at the knees to get into the car anymore. And what year is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Anyway, the 40s. Yeah, but can you still find one? She ain't going on the freeway then, is she? That's a very small capacity. Is that three people with groceries or three people without groceries? Because that was something I loved about our Subaru, is that we had, I don't know how we did it either. So we had me and Darth in the front seats. I want to say they were bucket seats. And we had my mom, two car seats, and the trunk and like their entire foot space, and I think on some laps, $200 worth of groceries when that actually gave you tons of bags of groceries. Huh. For what? What do you mean? Where did they go? Oh, my family. So originally they went to foster care, which I didn't think they were supposed to go to in the first place because he said let them keep their kids, and CPS took it upon themselves to steal them. No, but they stole them because he said let them keep their kids. Not the point here. Then they went to my parents' house, and then after they were up for adoption, they went for they went to my uh, brother and sister in law. Yeah, I mean, I like it when it's the thing of like on The Outsiders, Ponyboy's best friend Johnny, he was getting beat by his dad. When CPS goes and steals that kid, that's okay because that kid, yeah, that's rescuing. That's that's one thing, that's fine. But when you go and just decide to take my kid because you want to take my kid, especially after we could have totally sued them, we just didn't know what to do about it. We could have sued them because and then my stepmom at one point tried to tell me that that's not what the judge said, and it's like, excuse me, I was there, you weren't. He said let them keep their kids. And it's really cool that the kid's blood sucking lawyer, who had been against us the whole entire time, she was asking, why are you taking these kids? She didn't get an answer. And it's really funny how everybody that was part of that case left the company. They're just as corrupt as that W store. I don't know about that. I mean, when you get. That's what I was saying. Although, a company that doesn't let you go to the bathroom when you need to go to the bathroom is awfully corrupt, too. Yeah, well, if I end up going back to that W store, that's what I'm going to be faced with again. They go and lie to you when they hire you and tell you you can go to the bathroom anytime you need to. And then they go and tell you, no, you cannot. They go and tell you, you are at a register. You have to wait until I say you can go. A couple of times I walked off anyway. No, I am not peeing on the floor in front of everybody. I've done that before. I actually did that. CPS, I mean, not CPS, CTBS testing, the standardized testing. Um, my teacher would not let anybody go to the bathroom until they were done with their test. And I said, "Can I go to the bathroom?" And she's like, "No, because you're doing you're doing your test." And I ended up peeing on the floor. My mom had to come to school, bring me a fresh pair of pants and everything, or take me home, one of those two. I don't remember what happened. I just remember I ended up peeing on the floor. I was totally serious. I had to go to the bathroom. So then after that, she'd asked my friend, did she go to the bathroom during recess? And if she said yes, then it was, yeah, you can go. But if it was no, then I was denied going to the bathroom even though I needed to go. Yeah. But see, that W store, which is probably why I'm not going to get hired by them again, but that W store thinks that they've hired robots. Yeah, well, I wish I knew the OSHA, CPS, whatever you call it, that I could, turn that into because calling Walmart ethics does nothing. They tell you you've got power because you can call Walmart ethics. That's not true. No, you can call Walmart ethics, but it won't get anything done. Hopefully, the Department of Justice. Yeah, but is that something that only military people can use, or is that something everybody can use? Okay. Yeah, and it didn't help that I could feel not being able to go to the bathroom and messing up my internal organs, like my liver and stuff. My bladder. No, bladder, yeah. Anyway, I could literally feel not being able to use the facilities doing that to me, and they don't care. They're like, I don't care. You stay at that register, robot. They don't actually say that, but yeah, it does. Yes. No, it's got everything fee. Yeah. And so did the one in California, in South Lake Tahoe. And then you gotta pay like $100 a book, and that was 2008, 2009. We actually found that we could find, we could find the books that we needed online for cheaper somewhere. Can't remember where, but hmm, yeah. If you are paying the Kindle Unlimited fee. Well, either way, as long as you're paying your subscription, it's free. Yes, it is. You have to pay for it. Well, if I could get all the books on some kind of digital media, then that would be great. Because then I. Okay. I just don't know if I want to go back to college. It's because you got kids. Well, yeah, one kid, but, still, she's got an actual physical kid in the house. And that's why they give that money. Or at least that's the way it worked in 2008 and 2009. I think it's less than that. And it's because we probably do, but it's like, well, we don't want to go there because there's people that are poorer than we are. And our our welfare office sees everybody but the white people first. They lie and say that it's, in the order that you signed in. BS. Because there was somebody who had just walked in. We'd been there for like in 2 hours already, and there was somebody that just walked in. You cannot tell me they had an appointment because you can't make an appointment. They tell you have to make an appointment, but there's no way to make one. So how that are you supposed to make an appointment? And they go and overpay you on purpose, so you have to go and pay them back and say that you did something wrong. But we need something to help us now. I mean, I'm not asking for handouts, just because you guys have more money than we do. I'm not asking for handouts. I'm just asking, I'm just saying that we need something, and I don't know what. I know. As much as I don't want to go back to that W store, it was paying good. That's the one redeeming quality, and there's people that, I know used to like me. It seems really funny that, as soon as I got fired for no good reason, that, a whole bunch of people that I thought were my friends turned against me. Because I was no longer getting tortured with the rest of them. I would help a lot of people that have been in my situation where we're having to struggle. Because, like, um, he doesn't feel good. He had to go to work today because, he thinks that they're going to try to, mentally shoot him if he doesn't show up to work today. But, not really shooting, just because I am streaming. I am streaming, so I am gonna definitely, make sure that everybody knows they're not really gonna shoot him. uh, but anyway, he thinks that they're gonna shoot him if he didn't go to work today, so he made sure that he went today. But um, it's really bad when you don't feel good and you can't even get up to. Well, he probably could. He just didn't want to. But he couldn't get up to do the dishes, so then that meant I couldn't cook the recipe that I've been cooking, and we didn't have a whole lot of anything else in the house, so we had to borrow from the rent and buy pizza. So not the rent, the mortgage. We're not paying rent. I don't want to ever have to pay rent again. Especially with nowadays prices. Oi. We are paying less. Yeah, but we're paying less in mortgage than most people are paying in rent for a studio apartment. Studio, everything is Everything but the bathroom is in one room. We had a friend that had that, and it looked like her living room was very cluttered. Wait, your area that you're in right now or the area that you want to move to? Okay. Yeah, but what are we basing it on? Money or what it's got? Well, try to hurry because I was serious about hopping off. That's still a lot. You're supposed to pick one house. Yeah, but you're supposed to pick one house as that whole big old thing. Are you sure? I'm just asking because if you're like looking on realtor.com or something like that, you gotta double check because you might find a house like ours that didn't sound like a uh yeah, it didn't sound like a condo necessarily at first, but I think ours actually did say condo, but there was a bunch of houses that didn't say that they were like a manufactured home or yeah. Yeah, but we found a lot of them that looked like they used to be a fifth wheel trailer. We found manufactured homes that um were falling apart. Dang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why? Yeah, I hate HOAs. Well, our HOA started out saying that they do the snow removal. They uh care for the community lawn and all that stuff. Yeah. They used to have the people come in on like Monday and Thursday. They only come in on Monday now. And I got really pissed the other day. I know it's probably not a thing to say on a Minecraft stream, but I got really pissed because I smelled Roundup weed killer. It was killing people. It's giving it gives people cancer. Well, there's a weed killer out there. I don't know what it's called because we only saw the commercial once so far. We probably will see it again. Just I haven't seen it except for that one time. But anyway, there's supposed to be one. Like the one guy, he had to keep his dog inside because he's like using Roundup or one of those other ones that causes cancer. And then the guy next door, he's spraying the weed killer, and his dogs are having a block party using the pool and everything. Well, yeah, see, that's the other thing that we were coming up with. Tiny houses that would be like this place, but one level and very, very tiny. It doesn't sound very big. Ten by 10 is a small room. If it's anything, if it's anything like that, storage place that we had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. Yelling at myself, nobody else. Why? So, do you have a toggle thing that you can, say no HOA? Well, that would make sense since I don't want one. We didn't want one either, but we were so desperate to get out of his parents' house that we're like, fine. Because it was only like $300 then. But now they're doing less stuff and charging us more. Where? Mm-hmm. Why? What's wrong with it? Why do you need a basement? Why? Oh, like if a tornado came? Okay. Yeah, but did it say anything about having a not a bomb shelter, but you know the one that they had on Wizard of Oz? Yeah, but it wasn't a cellar. I mean, it was it's like a cellar. It's like a what you just said because I can't think of that word either. Basement, but it was specifically the one that Dorothy was trying to open, and then she went back to her room and was way too close to the window. Um, but anyway, but it was out in the yard. It wasn't under the house. I mean, it was under out in the yard. Well, in my dad's neighborhood, there's the 3 bedroom model that he's got, and then there's the 4 bedroom model that Darth's parents had in the same neighborhood, so it might be something like that. See, for me, that's normal because that's where my parents' bedroom was when grew up. When I was growing up. Okay, so as soon as I can, I'm gonna get off of here because I still haven't had breakfast. I still haven't uh worked on the rest of my story. Yeah. Um. Okay. Not that. Okay, there we go. So, yeah. Um. So this is the road that I was talking about. Um. You know how there's 7 houses, and then there's the road that goes that way. Because right now they don't have names, but they will as soon as I put the trees in. Anyway, I think we've gotten a lot of stuff done today. And it's time to finish editing that story. And then I could start in on the next one and tell you all that Esperanza's party's good to go. And, it's not yet, but it's almost. Yeah. So, there was only 258 pages in the story, and I'm on page 158, I think I said. And, oh, I went, okay. So yeah, I'm on 158 right now. And, hopefully I can get at the very least to 200 today. I want to try to get further than that though. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there we go. Oops. And then that is gonna be, we'll put that up there for now. Move that. Oh, we'll keep that there. Hold on. Okay. Hope he's not trying to text me, because if he is... Okay. I don't understand. My husband's in the driveway with the truck, and... Okay, no, I don't think it was that one either. It's not that one. Yeah, maybe it was that one. Let's see. Oh, although it's in a dark place right now. Yeah, that might be it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait. Oh, I can't tell from that side. Okay. Okay. I'm confused. Okay. 1, 2. What you doing? You getting paid to go home?
Sick leave.
Okay.
Wasn't in mom and dad's care package.
Popcorn. Ooh.
Chicken noodle.
Okay, so my husband's not feeling good.
No dishes required. Damn it. Get out of my hands.
What are you doing?
Coffee.
Me too. What, you're coughing, but I don't see your nose running or anything like that. Hold on. Oh, actually, I got a better idea. Anyway. Fine. Okay. So, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out this poll here. I'll make your soup in just a minute. I'm waiting until Sid gets back on and telling him I gotta go.
Take that long to set up soup.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 is what I came up with. Now the problem is I gotta go to the other file and figure out that end of it. Okay. So, oh. So I gotta go in the room and make my husband some soup. Some soup, some soup, some soup, 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 soup. Y'all know me. That made sense. Okay. Oh, you got a healthy request, you know. Okay. I know you don't like it. That's why I pointed out. Okay, remove peelable film. Yeah, I think you need to go to the doctor. Okay. Remove plastic cap. Oh, maybe I did that wrong. Okay. Heat check. Oh, check side panel for heating time. What? What side panel is... yeah, now I'm saying what side panel because it does not say. What the hey? Says check side panel for heating time. There is no side panel. Oh, okay. Hold on, Sam. Okay. Because they're too stupid. Okay, Campbell's, I am very upset at you. Okay, 1.5 minute. And then leave it in the microwave for a minute so it can get cold. Ew. Okay, what's up? It's your turn. Fine. I'm gonna go figure out my poll then. Yeah. So I've got the air conditioner on and he can't hear the microwave, so he's like, "Is it on?" Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to hop off here. Whether Sid comes back or not. Although, I think I'm gonna figure out that poll first. Just because. Oh! I'm streaming and I don't have Twitch open. Oops. I am so sorry if anybody's trying to talk to me. Okay, they weren't. Good. Because it makes me feel bad when... Do you want me to leave it in there for a minute?
Yeah, that's what the instructions said to do.
Okay. Then I'll go set them for a minute. What? What, my love? You saying the other bowl needs food? Yeah. Well, okay, so this bowl, um, we have a scoop, like, like candy stores have. For. No! Talking about the scoop! No, it's not. anyway, you know those candy stores that have the loose candy. It's not all wrapped up in a. It's not like M&Ms where it's all perfectly packaged and everything. You can go and get, the 1 pound of root beer barrels, or the 1 pound of uh mango flavored jelly bellies or something like that. So anyway, you uh hold on, I'm gonna sit y'all down, and hopefully I'll remember what I was talking about.
That's the check that he just. I have. Yeah. You just didn't have it with me earlier this week. It wasn't wearing regular pants. It was wearing sweats. Sign it and we'll deposit it in here. Good thing I brought a spare then. Either one. At the moment, Franklin made there and don't give a damn. She said you fill it every day, Mama. She says you might want that full. Before you settle down again.
Oh. Okay, I gotta sign something real quick, and then I can get back on here. Hopefully I remember my signature. I haven't written in so long, it's not even funny. Glad I'm not, streaming me. Because then everybody would have my signature. Okay, here you go. Okay, so I really do have to get off of here, but like I said, I want to finish that poll first. Um, at, not the whole poll because I need something, something. I'll make sense in a minute. Um, the chain, I think, yeah, I think it's the chain. To go from this pole to that pole over there. I know you're saying what pole? I haven't put in yet, but I will. Anyway, I usually just call him TSMC, but it is technically TSMC hyphen Minecraft. I don't know why he chose that, but there's a lot of people out there that are a TSMC. There's like a whole company or something like that that's TSMC. But anyway, this one does Minecraft videos, and he shows us how to build stuff, and just in case you don't know, and one of the things was that pole. Except for he didn't make it that high. He made it like 4 high or 5 high, something like that. But I was like, okay, those poles are always taller than the house. And the house is normally 8, so I made it um I made it 16. Oh, that should probably go down there too. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I've made it 18 now. Because those houses are actually 9 from the grass on up. But that's because when you look... No. Because when you look inside, there's carpet. And that is... Yeah, this is the last house I made. Okay. See, there's carpet. So, yeah, I probably could have put it into the ground, but see, it looks better with a sidewalk. See, there's a sidewalk and a road and a sidewalk. That's how the world usually works. So, I love that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, just, and then 1, 2. Hopefully this will work. Hopefully this will work, but I don't know. 1, 2. That looks like 3. Okay, 1, 2. Yeah, that was 3. I don't know. I decided that this is what the road is supposed to look like. What? I can't tell. So I'm going down or up. Can't tell that either. Did you eat your soup all up? So the problem is that he's trying methods that worked when he was a kid, and we don't necessarily have those resources. Like when we were kids, if you had that much of a cough, there was a ingredient in your cough medicine. I mean, in the cough medicine that you get from the doctor called codeine, and you couldn't get it without prescription then. But the thing was is that I mean you like can't get it anymore at all now, or at least that's what I hear. So okay, so that's 2. But the problem is that it doesn't work up here, and it's never going to because 7 across just doesn't work. The only thing I could do to fix that is to shorten this by 1, but then it looks not as good as it's supposed to, or
Did make it look less pixelated. Hi, Sammy Sam. Hello.
anyway, something. So let's go over to that other file. I believe you come with me when I go.
Hi.
So let's go over to that other file and we'll see how to build this, because I don't quite remember.
Good. Chicken noodle soup. You can't have it because it's not done. And you're not supposed to have it anyway because it's chicken noodle soup, not kitty.
Okay, so we are going down to this one.
Kitty hugs make everything better. Mike's in here.
This is a castle I built. Oh, that water looks so nice. Why is there water right there, though? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, that water looks nice. That is Super Mario Brothers. Of course, we're going backwards, but Super Mario Brothers 1-1. I want to build the rest of it. See, this stuff. This right here. I think that's chain. And I want to make sure that I use that. Whoa. Why is that still... That's not supposed to be... What?
There's redstone for you.
Yeah, but it's not supposed to be activated until you... Oh, that's why. Never mind.
Because it's activated?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's broken. This is actually part of my... What?
Then that's why.
Yeah, it's broken. Because it needs to be activated here, and then this needs to activate over there, but I don't know why. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't need this. I think that's why.
Settle down. Good boy.
Oh, but it's still gonna go up anyway. I don't get it. Looks really nice though. Where is that telephone pole? Well, it's either a telephone pole or an electrical pole. He wasn't even sure. Oh, I moved it over here. That's why. Okay. So, 1 under is these. Do I have those? Oh, I wouldn't know if I have those. I have those here, but I don't know if I have those there. So, okay. So we'll take a picture. I know what it's supposed to look. I'll know what it's supposed to look like from the picture. And then we'll go over there. Why? Well, if you're not going to listen, stop commenting.
Blah, blah, blah.
No, if you're going to not listen, I just said what I was going to do. Okay. Well, you're not listening, and then you're asking questions, and it's like, if you had listened, you'd know exactly what I was doing. That's my point. And then you asked a question.
Yeah, because they didn't
Okay, so hello. That was weird. Yeah, I went in and out of the buildings on. Yeah, I don't have that. Dang it. Okay. That might be at the house though. So let's go double check that thought. Um, well, we'll double check this chest over here first, see if we don't have to go too far. Nope, don't have it. Oh! So I can't exactly see what those are, but Salt Girl put some emojis on there. Salt Girl 112 put some emojis on there and in the chat, and really you what 12? It sounded like the cat said 12. Okay, so I don't need it. I need to get these babies outside. How many babies do we have? Okay. One, two. Why is that one not coming? Samson. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I haven't even called. I haven't even. That's so weird. It looks like they're starting a fight with each other. So that's what it looked like, and it said that's what was happening. Okay, so basically, if I stay up where that roof of the mansion is, then they don't come chasing after me. Okay, so we just found out I don't have the piece I need, so we're gonna get it. I know that we don't have some of the other, a couple of the other pieces, so let's see here. That can go up there for now. Yeah, that can go up there for now. So my son said that that's not the way it's supposed to work, and it's like, that's the way it works. That's the way it's worked for I don't know how long, actually. Okay, so you put it right here. Wait, do I put 1 or 2? I think 2. Yeah, 2. Okay. See where this is a whole block and this is a whole block, but you put it at the top, not the bottom, and you should be able to. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you should be. Hold on. Okay, so you should be able to set it up exactly the way I did, and then need. I don't know how far down they are, so I'm going to go pretty slow. I know exactly what I'm looking for, I just need to find it. Okay, sitting here and Kryptonite by Three Doors Down popped into my head. Aha. Yeah, but is it the light gray or the gray gray? We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Okay, I don't remember what that one was on, but it was probably on Sesame Street as well. Um, yeah, that looks pretty good. Now let's get the gray and see just to see. Um, but I think it was on Sesame Street. It was a song that goes, "Figure it out, the figure it out, the figure da, figure it out." May have been more words to it, but I think that's how the tune went. So we're gonna find the gray and see what that looks like. Because, the colors get a little distorted when you take a picture of the screen with your phone. So, what does it look like? Ooh, that might even be even better. For some reason, saying that reminded me of Now We're Perfect. You know, that looks better. I think. Not entirely sure, but I think that looks better. There we go. Okay. Now, we are going to put in some trees. I'm just not going to put them in today. That'll probably be tomorrow's project or later if I give up on my story. Um, okay, so I don't need that right now either. But I want those to be next to each other for later. Okay, and then technically, yeah, and then there's these two little guys. Um that is Michael and Kevin's house, as I probably said earlier. Oh, helps to count how many. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, I said? So, no, wait. We're going to take the white and pretend that we want it there for a moment. And yeah, then we're gonna, as soon as we line this up properly, we're gonna, wait, that the top? Yeah, that's the top. Okay, that's where we want it. That's where we want it. I think I've got this one too tall. This one over here. Yep. Okay, by 2. Okay. So we need to go and figure out how much that actually is and be able to do it correctly. But other than that, we're good. Now, There is one more thing that we need to do. Wasn't going to, but I'm like, it's got to uh, be done. So there's one more thing that we gotta do. And okay, we'll put that over here. And I really don't know where this one is. When I find it, I'll grab it. It'll be really awesome. Although it doesn't help if I look to my left to see what the temperature is outside. So I used to know where this was. Now I don't. Oh, there it goes. Okay. I'm like, I used to know where this was. Oh. Helps if you do up the other side too. So this is the hard part. The really, really hard part. Now it'll be along this route over here. Wait. Here? Yeah. No! See, it's putting it in correctly, but then it's also putting it not correctly. Yeah, that's why I keep on having weird dreams. The last one that I remember, one of the Disneyland guys that I watch is Fresh Baked. And why is this not... I don't know. Okay, that was weird. Anyways, Fresh Baked, and like I was, like I was a PR person or something like that, or writing a book or something. Um, but I was at Disneyland with them. It never looks like Disneyland, the actual Disneyland. When I dream about it, though, like once it looked like a rock quarry. Um, like from Flintstones, but I had not been watching Flintstones like ever, so maybe I was like, maybe I was like having a glimpse into what it looked like before it was Disneyland. I don't know. But this time I was like with Fresh Baked. I was pushing the stroller, but they never have a stroller for their daughter. But anyway, it was like, family day at Disneyland for them, and I was there because I was like me and Fresh Baked were gonna write a book or something. It was really weird. But then all of a sudden it changed to I'm done at Disneyland with them, and I was in the mall, and we like had lunch, and then we went our separate ways, I guess. And I was with this other lady, and I was gonna buy a life jacket, and I don't know why I was gonna buy the life jacket either, but I was gonna buy a life jacket, and then I said, nah, I should wait until payday. So we went all the way back, put it up, and then I was like, uh, kind of lost in the mall because like the mall was attached to Disneyland in my dream, I think, but maybe not. I don't know. Totally confused. I have the weirdest dreams. Like one time, my cousins and I were at a house construction site. You know, they were making new houses, and I seem to remember that like they weren't uh, necessarily doing things right, or they were like bad guys, but they were building the house. And me and my cousins were on top of this one house spying on them, and we were going to tell the authorities, but I don't know if we actually did or not because I woke up before I found out. But it was weird because it was me and I think I think my cousin Jeremy and my cousin Rose were there, or maybe it was Brandy and Rose. But yeah, it was a weird dream. And then there's the dream that made me start writing the pirate books in the first place. Um, Morgan and Hayden are boyfriend girlfriend. At the beginning of the series, and in this one particular dream I had, um, Morgan's old boyfriend, Jonathan, if you can call him a boyfriend, Jonathan had kidnapped Morgan and Hayden, and he was keeping Hayden in the brig of his pirate ship, and he was acting boyfriend girlfriend with Jonathan. I mean, with Morgan. Jonathan was acting boyfriend girlfriend with Morgan, and yeah. So so then they bring Hayden in, and Hayden's got like all kinds of neat weapons that you can put that you or stuff that you can put together to make a weapon. It's like sewn into the lining of his shirt. So it's kind of like James Bond. How he's got all the best toys. Um, and so they make him fall to his knees, and Jonathan finally says, just take the shirt off of him because there's no way that you're gonna be able to get all those weapons. So then they end up um, dressing Hayden into one of Jonathan's outfits. Well, they're not the same size. It doesn't make sense. um, what's a good comparison? Well, okay, not that he's an action star or anything, but it would be like trying to put Dick Van Dyke's clothes on, say, Brad Pitt. They're just not made the same way. Or like Vin Diesel. Um, Hayden doesn't have that many muscles, but I mean, he doesn't have that prominent of muscles. You know, to where he looks like a strong boxer guy or something, or a strong mechanic. You know, Hayden doesn't have that. He just looks like a guy, like kind of. He's kind of Brad Pitt shaped. But I can't tell you what movie I was thinking of when I came up with that. Probably Cool World, but I have no idea. Cool World is one of my favorite Brad Pitt movies, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith is another really good favorite Brad Pitt movie. um, I know there's more Brad Pitt movies that I like. I just can't think of any right now. Okay, so again, twice this way, twice this way, and then the gray candle or the light gray candle, whichever one you prefer. Yeah, okay. So that's as good as you can get it. Or was it supposed to be one higher? I don't think it was, but oh, oh! I did this wrong. Um, just a little bit. I thought it looked funny, but okay. So what you do is you that, and then you that. Yeah. And that is attached to that. It doesn't really attach, but it still looks really nice. So I just gotta go and fix that on the other side. And we need to do that one more time, of course, because you got two sides of the thing here. Yeah, I thought that looked funny. I wasn't looking at it quite right. So now it looks awesome. As long as you don't look too close with the fact that that doesn't actually connect. It's okay though. And this tree is going to go away. Okay, so what we're going to do, for all you tree lovers out there, we are going to have trees. But the tree's going to be here in this corner, in this spot right here. That way it's not too close to the house and it's not too overhangy over here. Because if it's overhangy, then it gets in the way and it's not good. Okay, so you know how like those trees. Oh man, okay, that doesn't work. Those trees are like, you know, over over the sidewalk, and so you can't really walk around and stuff. I don't want that effect to be something that we experience over here. I still need to eat something. Oh my goodness. Well, the other yesterday, I decided, okay, I haven't eaten anything, and I am gonna eat the popcorn that he brought home and, start that out. But I may just get myself a. Okay, so we don't have any clean bowls right now because, he's been sick. He's the one that does the dishes. And I am not good at cleaning dishes by hand. We don't have a dishwasher at the moment, and that's one of the things I would like to do if we get another income in the house is get a dishwasher. Because then both of us could do dishes and wouldn't be such a horribleness. But I'm still gonna want paper plates and stuff because since COVID, I'm like, okay, paper plates are safe. Paper plates got us through, and it, cuts down on dishes. But like plastic utensils, all that stuff that's not necessarily okay, but I've got like a phobia about that now. Cause like we were using, uh, actual silverware, and we stayed sick, and then we weren't, and then we used the plastic stuff, and we got better. Um, there was also that I took my allergy medicine, and that kicked out um the um we think we had COVID. We didn't want to go to the doctor because we didn't have any medical insurance at the time, but we don't, so we didn't want to go to the doctor. But we had all the symptoms. We couldn't taste stuff, and that had nothing to do with it. But I could not eat at KFC all of a sudden. Like we had been able to have the chicken at KFC, but then all of a sudden it was uh making my stomach turn. And for a while there everything tasted like it was dead and dirt. It was dead and it had dirt on it. So yeah, self-diagnosis probably not good, but we definitely got all better by taking my allergy medicine. And my husband doesn't want to admit that, but that's what happened. So, yeah, it's the Kirkland Benadryl stuff. The pink pills. The pink allergy pills. Oh, that's kind of cool, but it can't stay because that's not the way it goes. That doesn't look right either. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna get this to the other side and then I'm gonna jump off because I am hungry. And I'm pretty sure my cat wants me to fill their uh, food bowl. I mean, we got free feeders. Before you say anything, it's better to have a free feeder than have a starving cat. We were busy for the longest time, both having to go out to work. So why is this not working? So, we used a free feeder. And that worked out pretty good. Sam lets me know when it's not, uh, when it's not full. He lets me know when it's empty. So, it works out great. But we've actually got two of them now because Bobby came with one. Remember, Bobby came from my sister, so. So anyway, she had a free feeder too. And I actually like her free feeder a little better than the one that we have. We've we bought the one from that W store and it has no gravity to it. That it's supposed to be a gravity feeder. But the problem is that the part where it's supposed to slide down to, go into the bowl isn't at a steep enough incline to do the job. And the best the best example I've got for a incline to try to explain that is if you've ever seen It's Christmas Time Again, Charlie Brown, and you see Linus going down the steep snow hill that you know going down part, hey, is a incline. Yeah, so the idea is that I'm getting this line of chain back to the other end, and then I have to hop off because I still have not eaten anything, and Darth is home, and it should probably be quieter in the house. Because he's still barking his head off. Sid invited you to a party. Sid would like you to talk to him. Sid's trying to convince me to go back to college. Get the FAFSA and all that. You gonna talk to him? Yeah, well, the big problem with that is that video games are more important. Well, if you joined the party, you'd know. Even if you just listened to the party. Okay, so... But it's slow going because you gotta, like, put it in at an angle. Like you're making it go forward, but you gotta put it in from at an angle. It's really annoying. Besides, except for computer science, I don't understand what I would want to do because I like computers. I don't think I'm quite good enough to do English, like an English class. Oh, okay. I figured out the problem there then. So, yeah. Anyway, please check out my books on Amazon, everybody. And as I said earlier in the video, if you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell. If you're watching me on Twitch right now, please follow and chat. I've got 99 followers again. It'd be nice to get 100, and then 125, and then 150, 175, and 200, but, baby steps. I am willing to, start out with baby steps. Okay. I'm almost there. Almost there. Okay. I can't sing more than that, though. I basically just sang the title of the song. Besides, I don't know that many words to that song. I think that's pretty much all I know. Okay. Well, also, they don't need you getting everybody else sick. But this has been going on for like more than 3 days, so I think you need to call a doctor. Yay! Okay. So see, this looks like a telephone electrical, whatever this is, pole. And it now goes all the way that way. what? What kids show is that from? Oh, okay. Yeah. Whatever. Not that I remember, but okay. Because somebody in the family had one of those. And I don't know why, but I was old enough to find better things to play with and was playing with that. So it was probably my little brother. I have no idea. So I probably making people mad by taking out these trees, but I promise we will put in a bunch more trees. You gonna get on with Sid? Well, then get on with Sid. That could mean a couple of different things, you know. Not the thing that I was thinking that also meant. Anyway, not the point here. So, you gonna get on? Well, I was gonna offer to hand you the headset. You know you've been touching it with your sick hands. Okay, so that kind of looks like a neighborhood now. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, well, I know something I could give him. I just got to make sure that his other medicine wears off first. And make him take it. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting off the stream and getting off the headset. I will see y'all later in the next video or stream. In the next stream or video.